WCBI News at 6 starts now.
Good evening, everyone. An inside look at the case files in the death of Ricky Ball. That's what the Lowndes County District Attorney's Office is working on now after getting the files back from the Attorney General's office. Scott Martin joins us live in the studio. Scott, when will the public be able to read over the evidence?
Yeah, Joey, well, District Attorney Scott Colomb is hoping by next week at the very latest. He says it's an all-hands-on-deck situation at his office because people want answers.
It's been nearly 2 weeks since WCBI first reported that Attorney General Lynn Fitch dropped the case against former Officer Kenyon Boykin. Boykin was charged with manslaughter in the shooting death of Ricky Ball in 2015.
It was a gut punch because we're in a moment of reckoning around police brutality and African Americans, and to choose this moment to dismiss the case with no explanation, I knew that that was going to really cause a lot of hurt and pain in our community, in our city.
That hurt is being seen across the nation, even here at home, as hundreds gather over the weekend demanding justice. To help soothe the pain, District Attorney Scott Colomb and his office are releasing the evidence that would have played out in a jury trial.
They're going to see a lot of witness statements. They're going to see some videos of what was going on. They're also going to see some photos, and they're going to see some investigative reports, some autopsy reports.
Out of respect for the family, some things won't be released, such as autopsy photos. The bottom line, Colomb says, is for people to come to their own conclusion of what happened. The
people in Columbus and also across the state, this has got state attention, and that's powerful because once you're transparent, people can believe in the system again. They know that there is a pursuit of truth that's colorblind.
Truth and transparency. Those are the words Colomb is using and wants to be the takeaway. He knows the community is hurting, but he doesn't want anyone to lose their trust.
I hope that people understand that truth and transparency matters and that we can start to rebuild trust in our policing and in our criminal justice system.
Colomb says change is happening. He says that they're being proactive, and one thing that's expected to be addressed at a town hall meeting tomorrow is the use of force policies. Joey.
The subject of race relations has been at the forefront and center across the country, and that's also raising questions about Mississippi's state flag. A movement is underway to get the banner back on the ballot. Petitions are already circulating to get the issue before voters, but that's just the first step. It takes 106,000 signatures to get started. Then petitions must be turned in to be verified. The petition is then turned over to the Secretary of State's office, who takes it to the legislature. From there, lawmakers can then accept, reject, or bring up a competing initiative to put on the ballot.
It can't happen for 2020 because they would have had the everything approved for this particular initiative back in October of 19 in order for it to appear on the ballot in, say, November of 2020.
A petition at moveon.org already has over 130,000 signatures. According to law, petitions must be approved at least 3 months before the beginning of the legislative session in which the initiative will appear on the ballot. Mississippi's state flag is the last to bear a Confederate emblem. Many residents want to see it replaced with a symbol that could unify the state. Governor Tate Reeves says he wants it to be left up to the voters. But there are other ways to bring about the change. Our Quentin Smith speaks with lawmakers about the idea. He joins us live in the studio with more.
Yeah, Joey, recently Speaker of the House Philip Gunn and Lieutenant Governor Delbert Hosemann both publicly expressed their desire to see the state flag changed. Area lawmakers I spoke with are also open to that idea as well. However, they have mixed views on who should be in charge of making that big decision. This is the Mississippi state flag. It's been on display since the 1800s, and District 41 State Representative Kabir Kareem says it's now time for a change.
With all the negativity that's associated with that flag, it's just time for us to have something that all Mississippians can be proud of. You know, I love Mississippi, but looking at that flag sometimes, I don't think Mississippi loves me.
I personally don't have an issue if the flag changes. This is not the first flag that's flown over the state of Mississippi. I get both sides. I kind of feel like I'm a bridge between these two camps, and I completely understand where both are coming from.
District 43 State Representative Rob Robertson was a state lawmaker back in 2001 when changing the design of the flag made the ballot. During that election, Mississippians had a chance to vote whether to keep the current flag or adopt a new flag designed by a committee appointed by then Governor Ronnie Musgrove. Robertson says he'd like to see things done that way again if the issue ends up on the ballot.
I think that if we voted on it, it gives solidarity to all of us. We all have a part in making that decision, and whatever position you fall on, you can vote your heart at that point.
However, Kareem thinks a decision of this magnitude should not be left up to the public.
I think the public gives us, meaning the legislature, the ability to make decisions. And I think a decision like this is on us, that we should go ahead and take our proper leadership role and advocate for a new flag for the state of Mississippi.
The Stennis flag is a popular choice that's gaining traction as a potential replacement. While Kareem and Robertson both like the design, they'd also like to see other options thrown into the mix as well.
Let's just say we're going to take it down first, and let's put a commission together to look at the new design and get public input so everybody will have a say in it.
At some point, this flag will change. That's just my opinion, is if that's all we do is change the flag, and we're not also talking about some of the divides, we've not done anything.
Now, back in 2001, when Mississippians voted between the existing 1894 flag and a competing design, over 64% of voters chose to keep the flag as is.
A man is in the hospital after a shooting and kidnapping this past weekend in Columbus. Columbus Police Chief Fred Shelton says the incident started on Saturday night in the 2700 block of 6th Avenue North. That's where the victim told officers he was thrown into a vehicle by 3 men wearing ski masks. The car was an older model black Chevrolet Impala with either Ohio or Idaho license plates. At some point, the victim was shot in the leg before being thrown out of the vehicle near the intersection of Waterworks Road and 14th Avenue North. The victim was flown to a Jackson hospital. No arrest has been made. If you have any information, call Golden Triangle Crime Stoppers. Lowndes County man is accused of shooting at someone and now faces 2 charges. 33-year-old Dustin Cole is charged with aggravated assault with a deadly weapon and convicted felon in possession of a firearm. 27-year-old Adrian Balcom is also charged with hindering prosecution in the case. Investigators say deputies were called to 3059 New Hope Road about a person being shot at on June 2nd. That's where Cole was arrested. To date, Lowndes County deputies did not release how Balcom allegedly hindered Cole's arrest. Investigators also did not release what led up to the reported incident.
All right, Tupelo time lapse shows you the story of the day. Breezy, wet, and there you go. That was it. It's still breezy and wet across our region, but fast-moving clouds, localized downpours. We've been watching a little bit of rotation in some of this activity, but no official tornado warnings today. That's certainly good news. West of Louisville near Ackerman, Ware, east of Ethel near McCool, back up towards Eupora. We do have some very wet weather, gusty breezes possible here. Bruce, Pittsburgh getting in on the action. Some lighter rain west and northwest of Pontotoc. So that's the current lay of the land right now. There's one line of showers moving on through. This will continue to move east and northeast as we go throughout the evening hours. And the winds, they're still gusting over 20 to 30 miles per hour. So breezy this evening, areas of rain, just a low-end chance for some isolated severe weather this evening. Your full forecast coming up.
Heavy rainfall and strong winds are still possible this evening and even tomorrow from Tropical Storm Cristobal. This has emergency management agencies on alert for potential flooding. Our Stephanie Poole has more.
Flooded streets and downed power lines. This is a potential reality if severe weather hits Webster County. EMA Director Barry Rushin says the heavy downpour can put multiple roads underwater.
We are expecting some flooding from this. They're predicting 2 to 6 inches of rain within a few hours, and we are prepared for that situation.
He says nearly 2,000 sandbags are ready to be distributed for residential and commercial areas.
It rises pretty rapidly. Just watch it, and probably when it starts coming up, try to make preparation to get ready to do what you have to do.
Well, we're prepared for any kind of flooding. We're working together with the Webster County Emergency Management in cooperation with all the local volunteer fire departments. We can do whatever we need to help evacuate people.
Tom Booth is emergency management deputy in Matheson. He says rescue boats are also on standby, and they'll keep an eye out for downed power lines and tree limbs.
Any wind damage that is possible, volunteer fire departments, we can work real closely with the Webster County Board of Supervisors and the Mississippi Highway Department, and we can help clear debris, anything that's needed.
In the meantime, Rushing is urging residents to start preparations now.
If you live in a low-lying area and expected flooding, please get out before it floods and call someone and let them know you need help.
Reporting in Webster County, Stephanie Poole, WCBI News.
And of course, for all your severe weather updates, Keith is in the studio monitoring the situation, and you can visit us at WCBI.com. Well, a Tupelo teen's giving spirit has him receiving some help for his future studies. We have the story when we come back. Welcome back, everyone. A high school student's efforts to help others during the COVID-19 crisis is recognized by the state treasurer. Aiden Wilson was surprised with a $529 Tell Me Something Good scholarship. The Tupelo teen helps serve breakfast at Saints Brew, a feeding program at All Saints Episcopal Church. The scholarship highlights the work of young people who are making a positive difference in their communities.
You normally hear about, young people staying at home, wanting to play on the computer, not going outside, not doing things. But we've noticed over 300 submissions from around the state that show that is not the case with young people. They are doing everything from making masks to making breakfasts like Aiden here.
I've been in the fortunate circumstance of having my parents be able to keep their jobs and be able to live comfortably throughout all this. But I know that there are a lot of people who can't, and there's some people who are struggling both economically and health-wise, and if I can do anything to help out, even if it's something as small as, giving breakfast, I'm happy to.
The scholarship is sponsored by State Treasurer David McCray. Hundreds of kids are returning to Boys and Girls Clubs in North Mississippi. Clubs in Tupelo, New Albany, Oxford, and Ripley are opening for the first time since shutting down in March over the COVID-19 pandemic. Members and workers wear face masks and temperatures are checked before entering. Social distancing is also enforced, and everyone appears to be happy to be back.
We've been off for a short while, so we was trying to still stay positive and do videos to the kids and make sure that everybody stayed safe.
Kids take part in a variety of activities such as games and lessons to help them be ready for when school returns in August. And good thing they were indoors today.
Yeah, hopefully by August the rain will stop. For selfish reasons, my lawn is out of control.
I bet.
But it's just been a very wet year, and some of us are already getting 1 to 3 inches of rain over the last 24 hours, especially across the southern areas. Not as much farther north. We still have some rain on radar. We'll show you that and show you some drier weather coming our way after the break. Stay with us.
The forecast with Chief Meteorologist Keith Gibson.
Go down to Louisville, Mississippi this afternoon. Our Alpha Insurance camera network. You can see the fast-moving clouds. This is tropical storm weather. You can see the effects right there. That was a severe warning storm that had a little bit of good rotation with it. Eastern Winston County about 3 o'clock this afternoon. Now we are looking west from Louisville, and look at that. That is an arc of shower and thunder shower activity, and the leading edge of that, there could be some wind gusts up to about 40 miles per hour. We'll go back to radar here in a split second. Breezy in Columbus, 81 degrees. We're still looking at some wind gusts over 20 miles per hour. Those trees whipping around in the breeze. And in Vernon at Durham's Pharmacy, the clouds moving from right to left on your screen. That is from the southeast to the northwest. All right, here's our radar check. West of Louisville, out towards Ford and McCool, we've got some wet weather here. Gusty wind possible in this, perhaps over 40 miles per hour as this activity continues to move east-northeast. There's Ackerman right there getting pounded with some very heavy tropical rain. up towards Eupora and Mathiston, Calhoun City, Pittsboro, Bruce also getting in on the action. Lighter showers to the northwest of New Albany at this time, but that's the current situation as of 6:19. We have an arc of rain here, a little bit of thunder and lightning, but more gusty wind and heavy downpours than anything else. And this is lifting east-northeast, and we'll see if it holds together, but that band actually stretches all the way down into southern Mississippi and parts of Arkansas, all swirling around the area of low pressure, the remnant low there in southeastern Arkansas, and that will continue to lift to the north. So here's hour by hour forecast. Shows a lot of this tending to wane as we go throughout the evening hours, and let's hope that is the case. We just don't need any more rain. Hopefully the severe weather threat, albeit small right now, will continue to shrink in size and scope. We are looking at temperatures tomorrow morning in the 70s, so it's going to be muggy, damp, breezy, just tropical all night long. Tomorrow, a chance for some showers early, and then we will likely see some breaks in the cloud deck. Highs getting back into the upper 80s to around 90. The heat index likely a little bit higher than that. The remnant low we mentioned in Arkansas continuing to lift to the north. And tomorrow morning, extensive cloud cover initially. We'll likely break up some of that cloud cover, see a partly cloudy or at least partly sunny day with a chance for a few storms or showers. A cold front moves through tomorrow night. We may see a little bit of rain with that early Wednesday, and then that will clear everything out nicely just in time for the middle of the week and for the upcoming weekend too. Drier weather, lots of sunshine coming our way. Here's your AccuWeather 7-day forecast, and rain chances again tonight, tomorrow, into Wednesday morning. Then we're done with that for a while. The sun returns.
This weekend, athletes throughout the state joined together in the fight against racial injustice. More on that next in sports.
Go further.
This weekend, Ole Miss Athletics focused on unity. Ole Miss hosted a unity walk on the athletics campus that started on the track and ended on the football practice fields. Members of the department, such as head football coach Lane Kiffin and athletic director Keith Carter, came out to speak against systemic racism and police brutality. Coaches and players wore shirts that read unity, while several carried signs saying Black Lives Matter and silence is not okay. Over in Starkville, Mississippi State Athletics joined in on the Starkville stand-up march. Players and coaches alike walked from Unity Park to the amphitheater on MSU's campus. Guard Robert Woodard donned a black t-shirt that read "Peace, Love, and Justice" with the hashtag Black Lives Matter, while forward Reggie Perry was seen handing out bottles of water to participants during the presentation of speakers. MSU Athletics across its Twitter platforms reiterated the words, "We stand together." From West Point to Jackson State, linebacker Keontae Hampton has set himself apart from the pack. Hampton continues to rack up the accolades and looks to continue building on them. WJTV's Samaria Terry reports.
I don't want nobody to take my spot because somebody can be out there working harder than me and I'm not going. I'm very competitive and I take this football stuff very serious. I live and breathe football.
And that's the reason Jackson State linebacker Keontae Hampton has a catalog of accolades, from SWAC Defensive Player of the Year honors to being named a 2019 Connolly Trophy finalist, totaling 106 tackles and a league-high 69 solo stops.
And the best thing about him is we got 2 more years with him.
Hampton says his drive to be the best on the field emanates from his upbringing in West Point, Mississippi.
It's a small, friendly environment. It's a football town. We take football very serious, very serious. That's all we care about other than mud riding.
The Green Wave is known for winning state championships. Hampton won one his senior season, but going into that year, he only had one offer from a junior college.
I wasn't getting looked at all. Like, I really got my first offer my senior year. It was by East Mississippi.
Until John Hendrick, the then defensive coordinator at Jackson State, showed up at his door.
I believe all those mid-majors messed up. I believe Memphis and Southern Miss and ULL and Monroe, I believe they missed one. He has that chip because he would be playing at all of them. He'd be starting at all of them.
And that chip on his shoulder is why he's already garnered 4 All-American honors. But the laurels aren't important to Hampton.
I'm not too big on that. You know, I like to win. Where I'm from, West Point, we only care about winning. We don't care about accolades at all. It's a team sport, so we just want to win. But it's a blessing to get those things, though.
People wonder why he shows up because he can see it ahead of time. He's got an instinct for playing the game, and I knew that he had that great instinct. I was concerned about his size. The only thing I was concerned about him is when I started recruiting, he was about 5'11", about 190 pounds. I I'm blessed because I didn't know he was going to come to college and grow 3 inches.
And he played all 11 games last season for the Tigers, injured.
If we can get a full healthy season out of him, it'll be unbelievable numbers. Because, you know, he's just that guy. You know, he's an instinctive, hard-nosed, old-fashioned kind of football player, and I love that about him.
That's it for sports. We'll have more for you when we come back.
Dark skies west of Louisville right now. That band of clouds is associated with some gusty showers, maybe some wind speeds over 40. Heavy downpour stretching from just east of Carthage, and that goes all the way up to about Oxford right now. So we'll have some showers and some thunder showers. Just a low-end severe weather threat this evening. We'll keep you updated on that. Of course, we'll be here in case there is a problem here this evening. Joey, the sun returns the middle of the week.
We'll need to dry out a little bit.
We desperately need to.
All right. Thanks, Keith. Thank you for joining us, everybody. Have a great night.